So I actually was able to figure out that the whether it's vertical or horizontal, the um, time that you get or the watch hours count as long as it's, I guess, longer than 60 seconds, which if you're live streaming for less than a minute, then that's kind of weird. But we're going to use the Addy Stars today because the session is light and kind of want to use the realm layers again. But I haven't used these in a while, so I think I will use the good old Addy Stars. It's kind of the perfect session for it. Once I hit the lottery, I'll pay a cobbler to fix these up, make them look nice, but I only paid a couple $100 for them, and just needed to glue the heel back on. Tis a nice shoe, though. Aesthetically, just doesn't look very aesthetic with the adhesive that I have on there, but I do have enough to keep it on. They definitely built shoes different about 10, 15 years ago. 20 years ago, I guess. 2006. Yikes. Yikes. That's gonna be a big yikes for me, dog. But finished our yard work for the backyard. Grass wasn't too long, but we could just be on top of it and cut it really short. And so I have my other glasses out here. So when I'm doing weed whacking, I wear them just in case something attacks me, a rock or something that's not ruining my actual nice glasses. And I can actually still see. We'll definitely be using straps today because I got all kinds of stuff with my hands. The UK, yoicks. Big yoicks. We're gonna do muscle snatch plus power snatch, and then power clean plus overhead press plus Yorks. New Jersey. Sorry for your luck. Sorry you live in New Jersey. I guess it's probably better than being in New York, right? I wouldn't wish New York upon my worst enemy. I feel like people that live in New Jersey are just glad they don't live in New York. for you at least one more time. So fully warm up. Doing yard work's actually a pretty decent warm up. Pretty passive and just walking. Oh my goodness, what in the emoji land of the not so free? I'm doing pretty well. I don't know why you put all of the random emojis. I can't see you while I'm lifting. I can barely see anything anyway. But just 40 kilos right now. We'll do 40 again, then 60, 80, maybe 90, maybe not. The goal of today's session is just to move a little bit. Oh no, he has a joke. Happy Sunday, Daniel. Danny boy. The Burger King King. Isn't that kind of redundant to be the BK King? If you're BK, you already know it's Burger King. The Burger King. Do I want to hear your joke? Not really. You can say it if you want, I suppose, but this is straight serious 40 kilo muscle snatch work. No time for humor. Alright. I mean, I kind of get it, but it's just, I give it like a 2 out of 10. It has all the parts of a good joke, but maybe if I watched those movies more. 'Cause I don't necessarily mind that type of humor, the darker humor, but never watched any of those. Not a car guy. Two out of 10. Fail again, fail better. No. Well, you can have that joke. So 60 kilos. Well, you said half a joke, it looks like, and not really a very appropriate one. Oh, I don't know. There's no punchline, so 0 out of 10. Subject matter, not really nice. So negative 2 out of 10. Oh no, I mean, it seems like you're at least trying to like get grown ups, maybe, because they're not very good. So. Well, I mean, I guess sarcastic. I guess like he is in the sense that he's not really telling funny jokes, and he wants me to rate unfunny jokes. What? He's just kind of failing. But you know, I guess asking random people on the internet if you're funny or not is a good way to get honest feedback. And I don't care about his feedback. See, I know Daniel's gonna come up with some dad jokes. Yeah, unfortunately, Daniel, the Burger King was coming in trying to tell jokes, but kind of like me when I sprint, he was falling very, very shortly after the start and not really moving with much efficiency. Muscle plus power. Power, power, power. I felt that brush the top of my hair. I was knocking myself out. That was weird. Well, I'm feeling very sore. I did a lot of heavy lifts yesterday, so I feel as good as I should. I don't feel like, oh, I'm ready to go crazy, but I definitely feel like I lifted hard and I drove very far. Alright, so we're going to do 80 again just for a power. Oh, actually, I think we'll do that. We'll do that same complex again. We'll do a muscle plus power. Well, we went back to the vertical live stream because I was doing some research, but I guess the vertical live streams still count towards watch time. It's the if it's longer than 60 seconds, then it counts if it's alive. So. And I actually verified it by looking at my analytics. So Doesn't matter which way. And I can actually see that the chat stays up when it's vertical as well. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's more gnarly. Yeah. Well, if on the horizontal the chat stayed, then I would probably just use that. I wouldn't mind it. But the chat, like, I'll see your message when it pops up, but then it fades away. So it's really hard to like be be, be able to see the chat. And the reason I use the front-facing camera is so I can see the actual chat. I don't have to sit behind it. So it's for your engagement, so I can actually see what you're saying about me. Yeah, but on the July 4th, I actually didn't train. I was just with family, and then yesterday, I went hog wild up in River City. It was a fun session. All right. So, pretty okay. A little out front, but. Yeah, it's only for the clot. It's for the clot. Oh, so many messages getting hidden by. Huh. Well, the dumb part of me wants to go up in weight, but I'm just gonna keep doing 80 till I don't feel like doing snatches anymore. Because I know that I most likely can't muscle snatch 90 today based on how the 80 is feeling. I'd probably power it, but it wouldn't be crispy. It wouldn't be crispy. We want it to be crispy. Which I made cane sauce today. I had chicken earlier. The Noah, the bodybuilder guy, the Noah Diesel guy, he had a video about how to make your homemade cane sauce that's more healthy than obviously canes. But I tried his with the Greek yogurt. I didn't like that as much, really at all. It had a weird taste to it. But I tried it with just mayonnaise, and that was really good. My mayonnaise that I have now is just like the regular, so it's not like light. So when I run out of that mayonnaise, I'll switch to light mayonnaise, and then it's lower in fat. But then like the sauce itself was really good. That's like when you're eating chicken breast, it's fine, but like I wanted something different than like ketchup and mustard or something really basic to have with it, like a more of a sauce. As creating a sauce. I'm gonna do 80 again. The other one was better? I don't know why you're asking me why I wouldn't stay. I did stay at the same weight. Yeah. Still want to go lean. But we'll keep doing 80. If I have a really crispy power snatch, I might not be able to risk increasing the weight. I think I have to go up. I think I'm morally obligated to. Hands are tied. Hands are tied. Oh yeah, chicken. But that cane sauce I made, it was delicious. It's essentially just mayonnaise, ketchup, Worcestershire sauce, pepper, and garlic. And just dipping that in the chicken. Obviously, it tastes better because I had like full fat mayonnaise, but I think even with light mayonnaise, I think that version would be really good. The Greek yogurt version wasn't necessarily bad, but if you're already eating chicken breast, like, you can afford to have a little bit of fat, I think. Wash your sister sauce. Wash your sauce. See, that makes 198 pounds. And if I throw this little plate on, it makes 200. Just math. Just math. I saw my pet rabbits outside. I had to let them know I was going to mow the grass, so I didn't grief them. Mr. Know-It-All says to shut up. Why? You come into my house. You come into my house and tell me to be quiet. Mr. Know-It-All. He knows everything. Trying to reduce mass in my own You come into my home. You come into my domicile and you insult me. Damn right. My guy thinks he's in the right. He be thinking he's right. Alright, we're doing 91. With the mouth guard. Not really mouth guard, but the mouthpiece, and make sure I don't bite my tooth in half. I did 90 like a week ago in this complex. But muscle snatches are at this weight are like it's a really heavy percentage. What a weird muscle snatch. I like rebent my knee somehow. I actually don't know how I did that. It literally bent under it. That's wild. Like I push pressed it. I was. It's weird because I've never done that before with a muscle snatch. Just kind of wiggled it up there. That's funny though. Well, I wouldn't know how to do it if I tried. I don't even like as my legs like rebent. I was like, I don't even know. Like, this feels weird. It was almost like I did a power snatch, but I still like did that finish with a muscle snatch. Everything about that was weird. I kind of want to try that again to see if I can actually do it better. So we'll give it one more try. Then we'll do some power cleans and press and jerks and stuff. Trying not to do whatever that was. I suppose in a sense though, just trying to move weight fast is fine. I suppose if I'm going to do 91 again, I might as well take that little plate off and put this little yellow one on. Doesn't weigh that much more. Same exact weight. I mean, in some sense, it was a better muscle snatch. Ugh. It was heavy. I was really hoping I wouldn't have to step forward the power, but it's fine. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Big press out. I mean, it's a muscle snatch, but that one stopped. $100K on the bar. I only went up 2 kilos from the last rep. I'm not adding. I'm not going to 100 to miss. No. We reset and we do some power clean and press and York. And we call that maximal or complex. I did. I went up to 93. The one before that was 90 kilos, so 200 pounds. And this one is 93, it's just 205. Or the last one was 91, which is 200 pounds. This one is 93 kilos, which is 205. Or close to it. So I did, but jumping 7 kilo, I mean, my most I've ever muscle snatched, I think, is 98. And it was like a rep like that where it was really a press. So yeah, it rounds up to 205. Rounds up to 205 freedom units. I ate a whole cherry pie yesterday too when I got home. I brought some pie. We had like a little family get together, and I guess I brought too many pies, but ate a whole Walmart pie. I don't regret it. That thing was so good. I couldn't eat it while I was driving. It kept giving me the side eye in the passenger seat. I didn't have a fork or anything, and driving a steel dragon down the highway. I think it was delicious, delicious. Good reason I don't learn how to bake or anything. Like if I learned how to bake my own pies, like I would just be 400 pounds. Even if it was like lower calorie, I would just eat so much. I have no self control when it comes to stuff like that. I really want more chicken too. I want more from my king sauce. I want more sauce. Don't cook for anyone so they don't expect it. Well, for me when I drive home to see family, it's a 3 hour and like 15-minute drive. So even if I wanted to, and I never have had a desire to like cook or bake for like a party like that, I'd have to keep it keep it covered for that time, and that's just too inconvenient. And you have to spend all the time doing that, and then I have to spend 3 hours, over 3 hours driving, because I'm the odd black sheep that lives 3 hours away. But it's not really my fault. It's the only place that gave me a job. Only place that gave me a job. Everyone else said nani, nani. I said, but please. They said no, nani. And Cincinnati said yes, please. It's actually how it went. The exact verbiage. So we're going to do 60, 80, 95, and then 180 kilos. Yes, please, need job. I'd like to work. Yeah, I was like a week away from having to be a substitute teacher for my first year after graduating. Very, very close, and I would have not liked student teaching at all. Now I would be fine doing it as someone that has experience in teaching, especially if I was if I say I was old and I retired and I was at the same school and subbing, like I could do that very easily. But going into your first year at a school you don't really know, that would be just terrible. And it's something that's pretty common. It's kind of obnoxious too, because there'd be so many job postings and I don't want to hire first year teachers. It's risky. It's risky. I think I drank less coffee today. I made my own pour over coffee. So I grinded the beans and I just poured hot water over it into like a little flask thing. And so I had like a cup and a half, because the flask only holds so much liquid, and I did that twice today. So I feel like I've had less, but I also feel like when I do the coffee like that it's a lot stronger. I don't know if It could just be placebo, but I feel like the caffeine content is higher. It tastes a lot better too. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure of the science of that, nor of the scientific method of me actually doing it. But it tastes a lot better, so I think I might do that more frequently. Plus, like, having only a 1 cup versus having 14 or whatever I do normally, and that's probably a little bit better. It just takes a little bit of time, but I have a pretty decent method now. So I have like a electric kettle thing to make the water super hot, and so then I can just have that stay really hot. Because when I tried to do it before, I'd like boil water, but it's like you kind of have to keep it, keep it hot. But with that kettle, like I can pour it, then set it back on the thing, turn it back on, let the coffee kind of drip through, and then just keep doing that until I have all the liquid. But more coffee, more go-go juice. I need more fruit juice. I need more liquid gold. But like my normal, like a automatic coffee dripper thing, like I think that it tastes good with that. When you have beans, it tastes good, but when you make your own pour over, I feel like it's almost less bitter. It's weird. I kind of want to go drink some more when I go in. It's like I'm addicted to caffeine or something. I can't stop. I can't stop. But if I don't have pre-workout, I can usually justify having a little bit more in the evening. AKA I gaslight myself to say I can have more. Ankle's too flexible. I need those NBA ankles that are tight. Those tight Achilles that just pop. uh, but it's weird because I didn't think the coffee I have now was like particularly like super bitter compared to like when I had grounds or whatever. Um, it just tasted even better with the pour over. But I don't know. I don't know. ADK, my BFF, Jill. It's very hot out still. I think it got up to 90 again today. I always know it's super hot outside when I can hear the bugs that I always would hear when I would go on vacations or be in like super like Florida, or I actually remember it more in South Carolina. Like they're really loud bugs, but it always just remind me of like just summer hot weather. I don't think there's as many up north as there are down here. No, they're not crickets. Hey, Rod. Because the crickets are always there. It's like, I don't know. I don't know what bug they are. I don't even have a way to describe the sound. It's just a really loud. It's not a cricket though, 100%. Crickets are a lot quieter. I don't think it's a cicada either, because I remember hearing it for many years, at many different times in my life when there weren't a lot of cicadas or stuff. But there's a lot of things I know some stuff about. Bugs I do not. Bugs I don't. I need a bug expert. Rod, are you a bug expert? Southwest Ohio, loud bugs. I'm sure if I googled it, it would tell me 4 different bugs that it actually is. There's actually 9 likes on this live stream. What is going on? What is wrong with people? This is what's wrong with society. They like start super quiet, and then they get super loud, like I'm hearing it right now, and then it goes back to being quiet. It's like it's not like a constant. You just hear it like build up. It's like super loud, and then it just drops off, and then it come back. So I don't know what it is, but it's definitely not a cricket. And someone hit something. No, I know. It's not. It can't be crickets, because I know the noise of crickets. Crickets are a very consistent sound. This is a different bug, because I've heard crickets my whole life. Everywhere there's crickets. But these bugs I've heard a lot more down here in Southwest Ohio, and then in like South Carolina, like really warm places. Like right now I hear a cricket, and it's very like one level of noise. But this noise, it's like, I wish I had like a really good sound system. You'd be able to hear the 2 different noises. But like crickets are just like crick 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 crick, and this is like ooh, like it builds up, and obviously it doesn't sound anything like that. I mean, it could be cicadas, and that's what I don't know. That would, because it's definitely not crickets. I literally hear crickets, and it's a different noise than that noise as well. You'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Alright, so this is 90, 95. I should be able to press this. The question is if I'll be able to do more, but I'll try to make sure that this moves well. I mean, maybe it is just like a cicada thing. Because when we had them real bad here a couple years ago, I mean, they were just constantly loud. They didn't really like build. I don't know. I don't remember the noises. I just remember them being everywhere and just being massive. All right. Hope they're not cicadas. We need to find out. Well, if you Google that or like Chat GPT, like what is, say Southwest Ohio, I hear a bug that starts quiet, gets loud, and then is quiet again. What possible bug is it? It probably would just tell you. Get on that, Jamie. Get on it, Jamie. Jamie, get on that. We're gonna try not 103, but I would not be surprised if nothing happens. 95 moved okay enough. Whew. As long as we kind of cheat the press like I like to do now. A little push press action in there. Get a little English on it. Cicadas and green June beagles. So it's beetles, maybe? I mean, whatever they are, like, thankfully they're not all, like, they don't all attack you and stuff. All right. Nope. Too heavy. So I was able to keep it in line so I could re-catch it to do the jerk. So it tells me that bar path was efficient enough. So a lot of times when I fail, a press just goes out in front, and I can't really, not necessarily save it, but like I can't re-catch it like that. Ooh, that's pretty good. What are you gonna pressure wash? Your cheeks? Your large butt? Well, that's crazy though. $900. Bastards. Yeah, we had Japanese beetles up where I grew up. I've never seen them down here, but they were real little, and they would eat everything. I don't know where those bugs ever went. I've never even seen. Used to see when I was a kid, like almost every summer, everyone would have the trap bags up and around, and those things would just get filled with a gazillion of them. But you never see those bags anymore. But what are you using the pressure washer for? Obviously for pressure washing, but is it just personal use? So is that what you're trying to do, like commercial pressure washing? Cups and commercial. Oh, for commercial. How's this party? I mean, you see a lot of people that offer that as a service. I mean, it's something that people kind of always need. I know it's very. I wish I could just use a commercial one because I have one. It's not a giant one, but it's really nice to clean your sidewalks and whatnot. It looks really nice, but it's kind of in my neighborhood, if you are consistently mowing and uh, like you do the edges, you're just like very basic maintenance, like you're far beyond the average. And so power washing is not the norm with any house for like the sidewalks. For the house, I think is a little bit. Well, make sure you pay all your taxes on it. Yeah, I mean, if you have the commercial thing, it's certainly something that, like, especially if you know what you're doing and you have like like you said, a commercial type power washer, it's got to be pretty easy money because it's something that's not really, I guess, that physically taxing. You're just kind of in the sun, but it's also like, I would say it's probably a better gig than like mowing and doing gardening and stuff like that. Nobody no. Hey, remember the Chad? My FBI agents will come and get you. But no, I mean it'd definitely be a good little summer gig, especially if you had, like connections to businesses and stuff like that would need that service on a consistent basis. Oh, I mean that's something, and it's something that's nice too. It's like obviously like you're treating it as a side gig, so you don't have to do it. Like you're not trying to do 5,000 hours of it. You just do it for a little bit extra. Right under the taxing threshold. You always, you want to make less than what is taxable income. But I always see those signs around like highways. They're like pressure washing, call this number or whatever. Commercial pest control. Now, is your pest control like through a company? I wouldn't want you to get in. I know sometimes that can be a little bit of a tricky thing if you have like your main, like if you work for Orkin or something, and then you try to do additional business with those contacts that you got through your job. I don't know if that would break rules or a regulation or something. Like, is there a non-compete clause? I don't know. It is kind of a different thing. You're not doing your own um, pest control on top of what the company is offering or whatever, if it is a company. But that is something to consider if you are contacting people that, if it's like through a company. American, Scottish, pagan. Those are three words for sure. It's a very odd combination. Oh, you put Scottish on there too. You can take yourself back to Scotland, eh? Go be part of the United Kingdom. Dang Brit. Robert. Well, I just wouldn't want you to, contact like someone that your work has given you the contact information of and get in trouble with that. I don't know like how that works as far as that sort of thing. Um, but I don't know. I don't have any issues with that in teaching. I guess. Well, actually, I don't know. I don't know if you could actually like sell stuff to like parents. I don't know. If you're Scottish, you're British. No, I'm just joshing you though. You're in a naval base. Well, that's good. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't imagine like if it's a pest control and it's something separate, as long as it's like you're not calling in sick to do pressure washing on you could be, if it's just like extra on the side and it's a completely different thing, then I wouldn't imagine that you'd get in too much. That there wouldn't be an issue with that. You would hope, but that's good. If as long as you know in your contract that it's like that, but couldn't hurt to double check with someone that's upper in the business, upper in your thing to make sure you're not going to get griefed about it. Or maybe it's better just to do it on the DL, or maybe they just literally don't care as long as you're working. Oh, you're on the phone with Donald Trump. That's pretty cool. I don't think he likes Scottish people either. Yeah. Well, and I mean, if you are doing your own, like you're doing your job, as long as you're not like taking, if it's an hour job, you're not there for 3 hours doing 2 hours of your extra different work and then not doing that. Like, if it's like, I can come in on the weekend and pressure wash or whatever, then like, I'd just be like, it'd be like a student's parent like asked me if I wanted to, mow grass or whatever. Do I like this? I mean, you're saying Scottish, but I just feel like it's just British. You're just like a dis- discount British person. Scotland is great value Britain. Can we have Britain? No, we have Britain at home. What's at home? Scotland. And you just are saying random stuff there, Mr. Scottish man. I think the only thing he's served is probably a Burger King Whopper. Oh, you said you were in. Well, you can't even spell correctly. the, the Burger King accusations are coming to fruition with that kind of grammar. Should try lightly. It's always weird. I guess like Dan, if we're kind of analyzing the that other guy like psychologically, it's like they come. I mean, I guess we've seen multiple people that come in and they try to say like something that they perceive to be like something that is going to get a reaction or something, and it's it's interesting because it's like I don't know, like they obviously don't really get anything from it, like they don't get any benefit really other than I guess like a live reaction, but it's kind of interesting because I don't really understand the like I guess other than getting a reaction, like am I supposed to, I don't know, like I guess maybe I'm too stupid. Like maybe like am I supposed to get mad when you say something that's supposed to be like I is that you're supposed am I supposed to be offended and like upset and like me mad at you, or I don't know. Yeah, but it's weird because it's like I don't know. I guess like it's just part of like YouTube lives are just kind of a weird place for like some people, and they hope to get that reaction, or they go in and say something and get blocked or kicked or whatever, and they just go to the next live and then do the same thing. It's kind of just a weird thing to be honest, but I don't know. There are certainly better ways to. I mean, I guess to me, it almost feels like a lazy way to troll when you're just like, I'm gonna say something that's like something like that. That's just like, well, it's like I don't even know if it's they're necessarily rotten. It's just like I'm just gonna say something that I think is offensive because I want to get some sort of reaction or something. Like, I feel like it wouldn't be impossible to get me upset about something or to like get me mad about something. Like, there's certainly offensive things that could be said, but just saying something that you like, I feel like he is saying something like that because he perceives it to be like, this will be like this will be the thing, and I don't know, but kind of fell flat on his face. I mean, he didn't even type, have the grammar correctly, which is always the funniest thing. Especially when you're typing on your phone, you have autocorrect and stuff. But yeah, I don't even know. It's I almost feel like they're just like teenagers or like younger kids, and they do that, and it's just I guess it's like an early attempt at humor or like trying to be edgy. It's kind of like when that Burger King guy came in and he was trying to tell jokes, and they honestly like I wasn't even trying to be mean to him. Like they honestly didn't really. The one joke he literally didn't have a punchline for. It was already like set up, kind of just like offensively, but it just had nothing. Like there wasn't anything to it, and I was like, it's just it didn't start in a good spot. It never went anywhere. And the one before it was just like I don't know. There was an attempt. It wasn't a very good attempt, but it's very very odd with that sort of thing. What's I don't know. People are odd. That is for sure. Especially because like it's just lifting. That's what it's always weird when you get like the trolley type comments where it's just like I'm not doing anything that's really I think that odd. Like I'm just lifting weights. Maybe Olympic weightlifting's weird, but there's certainly like a lot. There's a lot more weird stuff that you see on YouTube that I think I don't necessarily would be more justified, but it would be like easier to troll those people because I feel like there would be more people to get offended, um, or you would get that sort of reaction from maybe I don't know, but it's probably they just click through and say something, then they just click through the next one to just to be just to be cool, but it's probably super strong. No, I did not hear about that. That and That's what's odd too, because I grew up in the time where internet became more and more pervasive, and like social media went from nothing to more and more pervasive, and it to me it's like that kind of reaction though from her. Like I don't understand it because I feel like if it got to such a bad point, you would just turn off the comments. And I feel like there has to be like there's more underlying issues with a person like that to have that sort of such a negative reaction to that. Because at least I don't know, and it might be different for like kids who like were born and the internet was just always there. Because when I was really little, there was like technically there was the internet, but that you never yeah if there's other factors of that. But when I was really little, there was the internet, but there wasn't a social media. There wasn't any sort of stuff like that till I got, which probably the worst time for it to start to exist, but like in that early adolescence and then middle school time is when Facebook and then Instagram and I think Twitter. Like I never used Twitter. I never understood how people could use Twitter, but like all of those started to come around. I had Facebook for a while. I was old enough, or I remember AOL Messenger, but that was kind of dying because then you that's when Facebook came around and kind of killed it. But I've even like I had I remember an incident. I had to have been I think I was in middle school or like 6th grade. Like I was kind of in that range. And I had there was I forget what. I don't think it was Instagram or Facebook. I feel like there was like a an anonymous question thing that you could have that people used. It was something like that. But I guess it was supposed maybe a group of girls, but they pretended to be like a girl that liked me, and then it's like they got to a point where they're like, haha, nobody would ever like you, or it was like something mean like that. And I distinctly remember that going like, oh, that kind of sucked. And then it was just like I didn't I don't know like I just it was like it's like oh that was kind of mean. And I like distinctly remember like that like right after, and it's like I don't know I guess I feel like if that happened a ton or like these like to me when it's something like that happens it's just like oh I just shouldn't trust stuff on the internet. um uh Now when there's many more diabolical things that you can find. I'm sure you can imagine the websites. There's one website that used to exist, but there's many other copycats that are like it, where um, that sort of stuff was very. Oh, it was just where you would see that stuff, and it's the depravity of human society. It numbs you in a weird way, or shocks you in a certain way, and it's hard to really contextualize because it is very disturbing um, what those used to be. But I'm sure you know those sites. I'm sure most people um, probably who have ventured into those dark corners of the internet. But um, yeah, because on a site like that, like the Saddam thing, that was pretty tame relative to all the other stuff that you would see. But yeah, the internet. I'm articulating. Is it? Are you saying PTSD like for the like middle school thing, or for the seeing the like disturbing stuff on the internet? Because I really didn't. Because I like when I remember that happened, I was like, oh, like it kind of just like opened my. I felt like it opened my eyes to like, oh, this isn't real, or like it's like people lie, stuff like that. It was more of like, it's kind of like when you realize like an adult isn't like all knowing and all perfect. It was like a kind of like a oh that sucks, and it's just like I'm not gonna believe stuff on the you're just you become more skeptical of stuff that you see. But with the other stuff, you just kind of just um, oh yeah, it's it almost feels like it's not real in the sense when you're seeing it, but it's just like, oh wow, like that just stuff that just happens, and like stuff that would happen in the Middle East, like some of those videos with like the journalist, and I mean there's um, a multitude of an infinite amount, and it's weird because like obviously that stuff is extremely disturbing, and you would want it you want it to be kind of pushed off into the corner of the internet. You don't want it to be easily accessible to anyone because it's so disturbing. I mean, with all the stuff, 'cause I remember like I mean everything. It's stuff that's like it's hard to bring out specifics because I'm sure you can imagine like any depravity that is in a video form you can see, and I guess it just makes you realize like how disturbing those like events are, and how like like Sandy Hook, like when people are like that wasn't real, like stuff like that, where you're like people are because it's like you can disassociate, be like that. There's no way this could have happened, and like um, yeah, the drone footage, but like the stuff you might see in the Middle East or in Mexico and stuff like that, because like the drone stuff, it is brutal, but like you're getting exploded. And I feel like a lot of the other kinds of stuff where it's just like, oh, that just a cartel thing or something, and it's quite disturbing. But it's weird because it's a pretty, I don't want to say it's necessarily like a shared experience, but I feel like it's just something that a lot of males in particular have seen on the internet growing up, or have found, whether they have want to or not. Whether I think Live Leak was one, but there's many other sites that were like that, where you just see stuff and you're just like, oh my gosh, like that can happen, and it makes you want to be safer when you realize like how fragile the human body can be. Um, I know a lot of them are like accidents or motorcycle stuff, and stuff like that. There's another website too, but I don't even want to say the name of it. It's not an active website anymore, but it's I mean this, and with filming in like cameras and stuff, it's so disturbing what people get on a video, and then it starts going around, whether it's like a mass event or um, I haven't heard of that one, but it would um, it would get flagged by the YouTube comments if you typed it in. Best, but um, was similar to that, but it had best in front of it. But um, you see, they just kind of realize like when people are like, "Oh, the cartel's not a big deal," or "This isn't a big," like they're like it's depraved what they will do to people, and just seeing that is just so inhumane, and just like it's disturbing on so many levels, where it's just like you can't imagine it existing, and like it being real, and like people choosing to do that, and it makes you appreciate where you live and like how stable the environment is. Like at no point do I go through my day thinking that something like that could ever happen. Um, and if you live in a very unstable place, like you make a wrong choice, like that just happens, and there's nothing you can do about it. Um, so it's very lucky in that sense. I picked a good place to be born in Midwest America, but yeah, those I don't know. There will be it's weird because it's like it's hard to assess like if there's any sort of like psychological change or trauma or damage or PTSD from that sort of stuff. It's just I mean it's shocking. I mean that's one way a lot of the content is described on sites like that, but it's just shocking, and just like in some way it numbs your mind to it, but in some way to me it kind of like is like, oh, I don't ever want to be involved with people like that. I don't ever want to be in that kind of situation or be in that kind of place, and it makes you more realizing what people are capable of Life's not a movie. You get caught by the bad guys. It's just it's all ogre for you. But I don't know. No, it's. I mean, I think like, and there's some stuff too that like people live stream them doing it, and then it's just that part too. It's just disturbing. But I don't know. It's a weird. The internet's a weird place, and I think like it's weird because I would never say seeing that stuff is important or anyone should do it at any point. I think it's terrible, but like it existing, I feel like is important as like a society to know like how bad things like just I don't know. It's weird because like it's if it disappeared, I wouldn't be like necessarily upset like if you could never find it, but I don't know. I feel like it's an important part of the internet because you realize just that it's not just a news article that you read about something happening. You know, when you see the actual thing, you're like, oh my gosh, this is so much worse than you could ever conceive. But I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. Yeah. Because I think like when a lot of people, if it's like Holocaust denial or stuff like any sort of like big event that's like denying it or it's like this didn't happen or it was blah blah blah, it's like I think those people come from a naive mindset to where they think like the human mind is not capable of going to such high levels of depravity. Because if you think about something like the Holocaust, like for any normal person, you're like, I can't believe all of the stuff that went into doing all that and how depraved every single person there had to be, like all of the stuff that went along with that. And then it's like, well, it logically makes sense that there'd be someone that would just be like, no, it just didn't happen. It couldn't have happened. And just be in denial of all of the bad stuff because it is such an abhorrent thing. But then it's like, when like what happens in current times, you're like, back then they knew there wasn't any evidence of there wasn't video. I mean, I guess there was. I mean, obviously nothing like what there is now, and you think about like in the 1800s, like you're out in the middle, what they did to like Native Americans and stuff. It's like you have stuff like that where it's just, yeah, we're just gonna go like massacre this group of people. I mean, even like Vietnam, like there was stuff like they would go and massacre like a whole village, and it's just like it's disturbing on so many levels. But when you don't understand how depraved that a human can get when they're brainwashed or they're crazy or in a certain group or something, then you think, oh well, this couldn't have happened. There's no way, like no person could ever do that. It's kind of like I always have that like thought when someone like abuses an animal like a dog or like how do you do that? And it's just like it's such like a depraved thing, but it's just like you see the evidence of it and it's just like oof. Human beings are terrible. People are terrible people. But, yeah, it's naive and it's, in a sense, it's understandable. It's like people who just go in denial when bad things happen to them. Like, it's a completely, to me, it makes rational sense why why someone's psyche would just be like, nah, not happening. Because of how, like, psychologically damaging those thoughts can be. Or, like, those thoughts could be. It's like, I mean, it's one of the stages of grief, right? Denial. When you're just denying that something bad has happened, it's literally your brain going into protecting mode. Be like, nope, forget about it. Didn't happen. We're denying it. We're trying to survive the day or whatever, and trying to just make sure that you can, not go insane. It's probably not good. Your brain probably doesn't think it's good for survival, but. I don't know when it's weird too because then you have like 9/11 truthers and stuff like that where there's there's events that happen to where it's like clearly there's at minimum incompetence and like issues that are along with it, but then it's like clearly the event happened and it's like there is the amount of people that would have to be in on a conspiracy of these different things would be astronomical and that like no information ever came from it. It was the perfect conspiracy. And with how incompetent humans are in general, the idea of like some massive conspiracy like 9/11 or Oklahoma City bombing or something like that being like, or like the Holocaust, like all of that being a conspiracy, like everyone is just like has it all squared away and is hiding, or like the Moonland is kind of an interesting one, but like you have stuff like that where every single person that's working on it for decades and decades and decades is lying and making it up and saying it's this is true or this is not, and I don't know. It's I I just disbelieve a lot of conspiracies because I believe in the innate incompetency of many human beings, especially on a larger scale. When you have more and more people all conspiring to do something, there's just so much incompetence. I mean, you see it with like bank robbers and different people that will do a crime, and there's like one person in a four-person group that messes up something as small as that, and then it's like, yeah, no, like thousands of people all conspire to all do the same thing, and it's, you know, I'm sure there are some that there's some validity to in some regards, but when it's massive events, it's hard to believe that stuff. But I'm gonna go eat some more chicken and make some more cane sauce and get absolutely yoked out of my mind. So I'll see you later. Deuces. Deuces.